Good morning, bonjour, buonasera. Welcome to Life's Questions and Lessons. I am your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so excited and grateful that you are here with me today. This podcast is unedited because life is unedited. As always, we'll get started with a question and whatever activity you engage in to explore your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, please feel free to do. So today's first question is, which identity brings me both joy and pain? Which identity brings me both joy and pain? So this morning, after a workout, I'm actually working with a new personal trainer that I love virtual personal training sessions, and had a good workout, was feeling strong. And after my workout, I was getting ready and I think the Spotify played the next song on the album that I was listening to, which was Beyonce's Four album. And anyways, the song that was playing was called The Best Thing I've Never Had. And I don't know if this has come up on the podcast before, if we've talked about this, but I am a singer. I've been singing since I was like 5 years old. For the majority of my life, I thought without a shadow of a doubt that I was going to be a professional singer. So I sang and performed. And for me, singing is like breathing. I feel at home on stage. You know, I definitely get nervous. I'm human. But every time I perform in the past, it just brings me so much joy. And, you know, obviously, things changed and there was a crossroads and those, if you're listening to this and you also are someone who is in the creative field, or you played, sports in the past and you really thought you were going to make it to the NBA, or, you were also a singer or an artist or something that you really felt like you were put on this planet to do, that was your purpose, and it didn't happen. This episode is really for you. And in all honesty, there's a part of me that did not want to record an episode like this because, as you can probably guess, this is the identity for me that brings me both joy and pain. And depending on the day, it's a lot of pain. So I pursued singing for all of my life and it didn't work on a professional level. I was never able to make the kind of money that I was able to support myself. And I want to live a certain type of lifestyle, and I was not able to do that over 15 years of singing professionally and going to gigs and rejection after rejection. So this is definitely a challenging episode for me to even talk about this, but I was in the room and I was singing this song, and I remember when that song came out and I remember performing it, and it was about someone in particular. It really felt like I wrote the song because I am a writer, and I used to write my songs for myself and for the band when I actually was in the band as well. But anyways, I was singing the song and just everything in my body was just, oh my gosh. And I think that the most challenging thing for me is, a lot of people talk about, not making it in whatever industry. So in this case, in the music industry, because you don't have the talent. I think it's another, a lesser known topic when you actually are talented. I actually do know I can sing. And just like anyone who does have the talent and doesn't make it, it's a very, very challenging thing to think about. So that's the context of this question. And I really want you to explore this question in whatever way works best for you. Maybe there is more than one identity that you hold that brings you both joy and pain. And really, get in a place, whether it's, changing your environment, going to another room in the house, but really give yourself the space and the time to really explore this and think about this question. For me, it's really a journey. I think there was a part of me a few years ago that just kind of wanted to bury it and never talk about singing again because it brings me so much pain, so much so that I stopped singing altogether. I mean, even at home, even when I stopped performing and I realized, it was time. It was time to follow a different path because this just wasn't working. And I stopped singing at home, and I realized over this work that I'm doing here with you, exploring questions and personal growth, this self-exploration and self-reflection and self-awareness, I realized that singing is a part of me, and I am very happy when I'm singing. And it brings a lot of pain, and I have to learn how to accept that in whatever way that works, for myself. So hopefully this question brings you some insights and brings you some peace. It's challenging. We are living in some really challenging times, and it's sometimes hard to give ourselves the time to explore these questions, but understanding more about yourself and understanding where you are on your journey is always going to be a positive thing. It's always going to enhance your life in some way. And one of the biggest lessons that I've learned over the past few years is not avoiding all emotions. I really don't like to dig into the emotions of sadness, the emotions of frustration and some of the other emotions that I'd like to feel less often. But what I realized, if I don't explore them at all, they will bubble up and they will come out in times that in times and in ways that are not productive for me in, really creating that best version of myself. So as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening. Please rate and review this podcast wherever you are listening to my words. And until next time, take care.